Arne Slots just finished his press conference, and here are the main talking points. Alisson's obviously out. He didn't really actually mention anyone else by name. He said McAllister missed a game, but he played the second one in the international duty. Tsimikas missed a game. Endo's been sick. But he did say there's a few players with niggles, but this is the first day he's going to have all of them back, so he's not really going to know until after training today. So that's a bit mysterious, unfortunately. He was asked about Trent, the contract situation for all the players, but Trent, how he's been linked with Real Madrid. And he was very cool and calm about it. And he basically said, look, I can't talk to you about the contract situation. It's ongoing. But it's good if paper talk is saying that the best teams in the world are looking at your players, because that's showing you how well your players are playing. So we actually saw the positive in it, which I thought was a really good answer. He mentioned Connor Bradley and how impressed he was with him, and the fact that he's managed to captain his national team over this international break, which for a 23-year-old is fantastic, and how many national captains we have in our squad is fantastic. And he said that good players always manage to get into teams, so he expects Connor to get into the team at some point. Obviously at the moment he's got some pretty big competition in Trent. He mentioned how Virgil van Dijk has been so important for us this season, but not only on the pitch but also in training. He's just as sort of pushy and ruthless in training with the players to sort of bring out their best, but he's also very good at putting an arm around the younger players and stuff like that. It's so important. He spoke about Chelsea. He said that it's not for him to talk about their system of buying young players and stuff like that, but they had a very good second half of last season and they've bought more players since then, so they should only be better. They should be fighting for the third, fourth place, because that's what their league position shows. And on paper, because of their league position, they are the hardest game we've had so far, but we struggled at times against Wolves, who were bottom of the league. So he said it doesn't really mean everything just because they're the highest in the league that we've played. He expects it to be an interesting game. Their attack is their most important point, but we are the team who have conceded the least amount of goals on our shots on our goal, which is what you need to do to stop amazing teams. So if we can keep that up, we can keep that up. He was asked if he thought that people will have figured out his tactics by now they've had a good sample of his games, and he said, well, they may do, but I've got more tactics. If I have to change them up, I'll have to change them up. He was asked about Alisson specifically and why he keeps getting these muscle injuries, and he said, we're trying to keep an eye on it. The problem is, once you've had one muscle injury, you're probably going to have more, and maybe he needs a bit of resting between games. He said, I know I said last time that 12:30 kickoffs after international breaks isn't a problem, and he still says that, but 12:30 kickoffs after a Wednesday night Champions League game is a bit rough. And he said, and in the Dutch league, they look after the teams who are in Europa Leagues because they want their teams to do well, and maybe the FA needs to look into that, which I thought was a really interesting point. The injury ones was a bit weird. He basically was a bit non-committal, but he said, McAllister missed a game, Tsimikas missed a game, Endo's been ill. He didn't mention Chiesa or Elliott, so who knows, but hopefully we'll hear something before the game on Sunday. I think we're going to win 2-0. I think we are the better team, and it's at home, and I think we're just going to win 2-0. I'm very confident, actually. Let me know what you think. Please like, please follow, please repost. Come on, you Reds.